YouTube.
Uh,
Hello, YouTube.
Good evening. How's everybody? We are indeed. Hello, YouTube. Yeah. So it's three of us right now that are here. It's Jason. That's me, Jonathan, and Colton. How you guys doing?
Good.
Okay.
We got a couple of viewers out there in live audience land.
And I didn't
Got a
mark
couple?
it this week, so.
You didn't mark it. Mark what?
No. Huh?
You didn't mark what?
I didn't market the.
No, you didn't do any marketing. Okay.
Yeah.
You said I didn't mark it. I'm like, you didn't mark what?
Market used as a verb. 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗡𝗥𝗡.
There is Muriel out there saying hello. Hi, Jason, Jonathan, Colton. Nice.
Hello,
Welcome.
Evening.
What'd you say?
Evening.
Evening.
That's the Kentucky way.
Indeed. Fantastic. We want to say hello to all those who are watching who are not part of the live audience and might, give us a comment down on the comment part of the YouTube screen. I don't even know what you call it.
Down in the comments. Yeah, no, there's a YouTube has it now where if you say hit that subscribe button, I don't know if it's on videos or if it does on the live streams as well, but it'll like glow around the subscribe button now.
Oh,
it's really wild.
Hit subscribe and let us know you're out there. We are this week in Psalm chapter 47. And this is obviously posted on our Patreon page for those who are interested. Good. Let's get started. I wonder if anybody else is going to join us. Did anybody hear anything?
Nope.
I have not heard anything yet, as of yet.
All right. For right now, then it'll be us. We're going to see a couple of interesting verb forms here, and we'll get to them. Number 47, we have the inscription. 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗥𝗩𝗘 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗡𝗙 mizmor. Mizmor is again the type of song that it is. Not really sure how mizmor was different from maskil, was different from whatever kind of song it was. Shir, like I don't know. They just gave it a name. It meant something to them that it doesn't mean much to us. Is that right? Mnatzech today means a conductor. It's a leader of a singing group. B'nai Korach must be the Korahites, I think they say, but it must be some kind of like leadership of the temple cult. But we're not really sure, right? I hate that there are so many things in biblical literature and investigation, research, all that we're just unsure of, but when you study the Hebrew Bible, you have to get used to uncertainty because that's really how we live. We live on the edge. Right?
That's us.
That's us. And Jay Kirkpatrick is out there saying hello to everybody. So we're going to wave and say, hey, what's up? Nice to see you. Go ahead, Jonathan, with verse number 2. I tackled the inscription. You get the first real verse.
Yeah, and it just happens you just happen to call on me for this one.
Indeed.
Kol ha'ma'im tik'u chaf hari'u lelohim b'chol rina. So Jason and I were talking about how this expression is evocative because you have a plural, an imperative, and the noun is plural as well, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got
because otherwise it would be kol ha'amim yitke'u chaf, right? Yitke'u is they will clap hands.
Right.
They will. So this isn't saying they will, it's saying clap your hands. And so kol ha'amim has to be something else. It has to be functioning otherwise, which is as
evocative.
So, direct address.
So, oh people, all you people, clap your hands, shout to God with a voice, a shout. So like
of joy, Rina.
Yeah.
So Rina is like simcha, right?
Mm-hmm. Hold on, my
But-
makes me
No.
sorry.
L'Elohim. Where did we come across this week where we talked about it in Discord? Do you remember? L'Elohim. You and I talked about it.
From the other psalm that we were doing. So you could say for the gods, or you can say mighty.
But here I think
Mighty
it's for
things.
sure to God.
Yeah, I think so.
Shout
My
to
cat's
God.
coming to visit me. Hi, kid.
I got to this morning. I called a friend of mine. There's a big strike in Israel today. Like it affected a lot of different industries. And one of the things that they did, no, but they closed the city hall, the Tel Aviv City Hall municipality, and so my friend works for the city hall, and I knew that he wasn't working, and I happened to be over by his house, so I gave him a call, and he didn't answer the phone. I sent WhatsApp messages, and he didn't answer, and so I just dropped by and I started banging on his door for him to get up, and he did, and he's like, "We're on strike, so I'm sleeping." But he has 2 cats, and I got to spend the morning with 2 lovely cats.
Can you go over the what you were trying to say about 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗥𝗡 a minute ago?
Yeah, it took me a while to wrap my head around that because that's not usually how I see vocatives. But I think Jason is correct.
Let's say hi to Ken real quick. Hello, Ken. Welcome. We got 6 viewers right now, so if anybody else wants to say that they're out there, we can't really see a list of users, but we can say hi when you mention yourself in the live stream. Kol hamim tik'u. This is an imperative, right? The verb is litkoa taka. It's often used with trumpets, litkoa shofar, litkoa bashofar. To blast with the trumpet, to make a sound. So the noun form of litkoa is tki'a. Tki'a is often used of a trumpet blast, but it can also be used to mean shout. Tki'a. So it says tik'u. This is an imperative, and it means to clap hand. Okay. Make a sound with your hand. Kaf. So when it has kol ha'amim sitting there, it cannot be the subject of the verb, and it cannot be the object of the verb, and it cannot be the indirect object of the verb. It can't be anything. So what is it functioning as? It's giving a name to the second person subject of the imperative.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we have to translate it as a vocative. That is, oh, all the peoples, clap your hands.
Okay. That's fine. I just missed what you said.
Yeah, but that's not usually how that's not usually when I see a vocative, it comes like a noun with the article. But it's still definite, right? Because it's in construct. Or no, yeah.
But notice it happens a lot with Adonai, like in the Psalms where it's got a verb in the second person, and then it has Adonai stuck there, and you're like, well, Adonai cannot be the subject of the verb because the subject of the verb has to be third person, right? Unless it's you. You is second person, so that puts Adonai in vocative in a vocative position. Mm-hmm. Real quick, Adel is here, and he says hello to everybody. So, hello, Adel. Welcome. And we are on verse 3 for Colton. Here you go.
All right. Ki Adonai Elyon Norah. Melech Gadol al Chol Haaretz. For the Lord is Elyon is greatly feared.
I don't know. I don't know that fear is there.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. And then.
So what are you doing with Elyon?
It's an adjective, is what it is for Adonai. I just don't know how to, or a moniker maybe, but
yeah, God Most High, right?
Elyon.
Yeah, the Lord Most High.
Or yeah, well, Adonai Elyon here.
Yeah, sorry, it's just easier to. Yeah. And
so Elyon is a remember that there was a Canaanite pantheon of gods, just like there was for the Greeks, and Elyon was the highest deity on the pantheon of the pantheon. So when the pantheon collapsed and monotheism took over, basically all of the names of the gods of the pantheon that were the highest were given to 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗥𝗓𝗡. So Elyon, who was the like Zeus of the pantheon, the highest of the gods, the father of the gods, his name Elyon was given to 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗡𝗙, Adonai. So Adonai Elyon was a combination of these two god names. And what's odd is that the word Baal, Baal, is not normally given to 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗡𝗙. This is a name that was detested. I'm not sure why. But El was one of the gods. He was basically the patron god of Canaan in most cases. But his name was associated with 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗡𝗙 and Elyon. It's definitely interesting. But originally, El was one god, Elyon was a different god, and 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗡𝗙 was another god, and they were all coalesced as one. Yeah. That's an interesting about the history of the Canaanite religions. And Judaism, well, it wouldn't have been called Judaism, but the Israelite religion was a product of its religious milieu. It was a product of what was happening in Canaan at the time. And it isn't really that surprising. Like, if you know what was going on with the religions of Canaan, the religion of the Israelite peoples isn't so odd. It's not odd. Right? It had a context.
Yeah.
All right, so how do you take Noah?
Feared. It's the all participle, so I'm reading it. And so,
Default participles are often read as adjectives.
Yeah.
Jonathan just took himself off screen. So Noah normally means like awful or to be feared. But it can also mean awesome.
Yeah.
So we have the holidays that are coming up.
Yeah. Jason said
Remember
the Lord is awful. I was like, hey now.
The Lord Most High is awful.
Awful in the sense that it originally meant awe-filled. It is
awe-filled.
Yeah.
Full of awe.
Yeah.
Yeah, full of awe.
Yeah.
Awful or awesome. Notice that another example of this is the word nehedar with hey dalet resh and nifal participle nehedar, meaning great. Nehedar. So Noah means awful, or it can be amazing. It can also be like greatly, like as an adverb.
Yeah.
Hu Noah mitlahev. He's really excited. Noah means really. But Adonai Elyon Noah means that he is to be feared. He is to be in awe. You should reverence him. Right? Great. Melech gadol al kol haaretz. What is that?
A great king over all the earth.
A great king over all the earth. Can you tell us anything about what's written there in the apparatus there on the right? This is from the Biblia Hebraica Stuttgartense, yeah?
Looks like some of the manuscripts in Syriac have the nora instead of just nora.
Good. I'm glad you said ve. Ki Adonai Elyon ve nora.
Thanks,
because
Jason.
the Lord is Elyon and Noah. So it says, what's that PCMSS mean?
I don't. MSS means manuscripts. I don't know what PC means.
PC.
So
right.
The letters PC mean pauci in Latin, and if you know in Latin, pauci means a few. Let's throw that word up there for people who don't know Latin, because to use the abbreviations in BHS, you're supposed to know Latin. That's what they expect. Pauci. Pauci means a few. It's a plural. Paucus, pauca, paucum, pauci. A few. Pauci manuscripti. Manuscripti. Okay. So a few manuscripts, and when it says manuscripts, it means manuscripts of the Hebrew Bible, manuscripts that we have. A few manuscripts read Vinorah together with the Syriac. That S thing is a Syriac. And letter B says, Melech Gadol al kol haaretz.
Compared that to chapter 2, verse 2.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then C says, al kol haaretz.
Elohim, the land of God. All over
not land of
over
God.
all the gods. Oh, instead of. Sorry.
Yeah. Over all the gods.
Yeah.
The Lord Elyon is awesome, a great king over all gods. That's some of the Hebrew manuscripts say al kol Elohim instead of al kol haaretz. El Olivo, which is Spanish, says shalom lechulam, hello everybody, and hello to you back, shalom lecha. Verse 4, I get the fun one, yay, look at that. Yadber amim tachatenu uleumim tachat raglenu. This first word, well, first of all, tachatenu and tachat raglenu are in parallel structure, right? Under us and under our feet has the same meaning. Amim and leumim have the same meaning, peoples, nations. And then we have this word yadber. Yadber sounds like, it looks like yidaber, right? Yidaber is he speaks, or he will speak.
Yeah,
he speaks. This is actually not that word. This is the word that's related to hadbara in modern Hebrew. And this would be like if you have critters in your house, bugs, and you call hadbara, you call the exterminator, and he gets rid of them, madbir. So this is a hifil of a secondary root that looks like diber. This is he gets rid of them, he destroys them, cuts them off, something like that, like what you do to critters in your house. So let's look at it in halot. Okay, it's related to the Arabic dabara, to be behind, to turn one's back. And this is hifil, so let's go down to hifil. It says a hifil, the imperfect, yadber, vayadber. Okay, it gives some examples, Psalm 18 and blah, blah, blah. With tachat, to drive away or to subdue. And this gives us our Psalm 47. So he subdues. The subject of yadber here is from the previous verse, the Lord. So the Lord subdues nations under us, or peoples. He subdues peoples under us and nations under our feet. Meaning that when we come to battle with our neighbors, God subdues them to us. He makes them lose the war and become subservient to us. Right? That's the idea. Do you agree? Disagree? What do you think?
Yeah. Is there any bandwidth in trying to translate this as a Joseph instead of
it could be.
Yeah.
It could be. Why not? Let him subdue peoples under us and nations under our feet. Could be. There's no reason why not.
Okay.
The Joseph and the imperfect would look the same.
Sorry, folks. I'm feeling sick. I'll be back.
So he'll be back. So that means that you take his place.
Oh,
in number 5.
My bad. Sorry. I didn't realize this was his turn. 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗡𝗥𝗡𝗦 את נחלתנו, את גאון יעקב אשר אהב סלה. And he will choose for us our inheritance. Is that the word we're looking at? Our inheritance.
Mm-hmm.
And the Gaon Yaakov, the Gaon of Jacob. We'll come back to what that means. Which he loves, which is loving. Which he loves. Selah. What is Gaon? Is that valley? They're related to valley.
It's like Ga'ava. Ga'ava, pride. You can see it in the translation over there. Gon Yaakov, the pride of Jacob.
Oh, yeah. Didn't realize it was there. Okay. Yeah. Chose for us our inheritance, pride of Jacob, which he loves.
What's going on with Ahev there?
It's the state of.
Yeah. So how would that affect the translation? Would it be whom is loved?
Which he loved.
Which he loved.
Yeah. But because statives are statives, we put those in the present tense a lot of times, even if they're in the perfect.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So if somebody does something really cool, you can say ahavti. Ahavti.
So is it
which
like
looks like the past tense, but because it's stative, it means I like. I like it.
Is it emphatic?
No.
Or like you could just say ahav, right?
That's one of the things about these stative verbs, that sometimes you find them like a normal kal, ahav, and sometimes you find them with the a vowel, ahev. So you could find lamad or lamed. Lamad or lamed, ahav or ahev.
And you would translate them the same. There's no semantic difference at all.
I don't think so.
No, because I think the issue is like where it gets the second vowel from, the stem vowel, it can change more freely because of the history of the word, which I don't remember exactly what it is right now.
My professor would probably just say it's stylistic. That's probably what he would say.
Yeah.
But when it's in this, when it takes the form of the stative, then it's like yashen. Yashen is the easiest one to remember. Sleeping, yashen. So the normal form for that would be considered a participle, yashen. And so you say yashen yeshena, yeshenim yeshenot. And a lot of Israelis, instead of saying yashen, say yoshen for the participle, and that's a mistake. It's not yoshen, but yashen. Ani yoshen, you hear it every day. People say ani yoshen, but it's not right. Ani yashen, I'm sleeping. Mm-hmm.
That's what your friend said to you when you dropped by.
Yeah, ani yashen. Mata would say ani yashen. What do you want? I'm sleeping. Let's see what's in the apparatus real quick. So it says that in the Septuagint and the Syriac, the suffix is third singular. Instead of nachalatenu, it says nachalato, which is his inheritance. You chose for us his inheritance. He chose for us his inheritance instead of our inheritance. And then in letter B, the word sela is missing from the Syriac. Not a big deal. Okay. So, Jonathan, you're taking verse 6 then, because you were feeling sick and deserted us. Are you feeling better now?
Temporarily. My medicine makes me sick. But I don't throw up. I just get super nauseated. Well, I don't know why that's funny. It's pretty horrible.
I don't know. You laugh at the bad things in life because we're surrounded by bad things in life. Don't have any choice. Before you read, we've got a message from UAB employee, but Bible study. Not sure what UAB is, but cool. Good evening to you all. Hoping you're all blessed today. Jonathan, how do you feel blessed with your medications?
Well, I feel cursed, but that's all right. I am blessed in other ways.
Well, at least you have the medication, I guess.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, we could have just died from our diseases like they did in the past.
Yeah. So Allah Elohim bitru'a Adonai b'chol shofar.
Lo b'chol. You're sounding like Colton now.
B'chol. Yeah, people gutturalize the kaf, and I don't know why. And they also gutturalize the hey, and I don't know why. They always get corrected. I've never seen them not corrected. So God has gone up with a shout. Bet, what do you call that? A dative or not a dative, an instrumental dative.
Instrumental.
Yes.
Instrumental bet.
And then Adonai with the sound of the shofar.
So this has Elohim and Adonai in parallel, and it has bitru'an b'kol shofar in parallel, and Allah is the verb that governs both parts of the parallel structure, right? Allah Elohim bitru'an, Adonai b'kol shofar. So we could say Allah Elohim bitru'an, Allah Adonai b'kol shofar.
Yep.
Allah could be repeated, but it's elided from the second phrase, and we have a parallel structure. So what is this going up?
At least the people from the Cook school call that verb gapping.
Verb gapping.
Verb gapping. When you don't.
I would call it verbal elision.
I would call it an ellipsis. So there we go.
Ellipsis. There you go. That's a good one. Religion. See, this is it's the same thing. All right, but what is this going up or ascending? Allah Elohim.
I guess going up to the top of the mountain. Maybe.
Oh, it could be.
Yeah.
It could be.
Maybe.
Oftentimes the going up is associated with a throne. You go up and sit on your throne.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Of course I was thinking Jerusalem, but
Jerusalem is sitting on mountains.
Oh, that because you can go up to Jerusalem. Yep.
Right.
And Jerusalem is considered the throne of God, right?
Right.
Or the footstool.
Footstool, right. It is the place where they meet.
Should I take
where he puts his feet while he sits on his throne?
Yes. Yeah.
It's Jerusalem.
Should I take 2 since Colton took 2?
He didn't.
Well, he took my spot.
He took yours, and then you flipped, and you're after him now.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So, Allah Elohim bitru'ah. Tru'ah, what is tru'ah?
Another word for shout.
Could be a shout, or it could be a trumpet blast. Could be anything that makes a lot of noise, right? We saw it in the book of Joshua for a shout. When people were surrounding the city, and then they needed to shout. But also, not just shouting, they were all supposed to blow the trumpet.
A joyful shout, says this lexicon.
Yeah. So what we see is God ascending. Probably because he's subdued our enemies under our feet, and now he stopped fighting and he's going up to his throne. Right? So God ascended with a great shout, with noise, and the Lord with the sound of the trumpet. He went up. Oh, it's fanfare, and people. The shouting is coming from the people who adore him. These are shouts of praise, right? Don't you think?
Indeed.
That's how I take it. All right.
That's how I take
and
it.
These are imperatives. These are directed toward the ones who are watching God ascend. God is ascending to his throne with noise, the people making noise. And so now it's instructing the people, Zamru, this is a mistake in the text. It's not Zamru Elohim. It should be Zamru Lelohim. Like a few of the 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗥𝗓𝗡 manuscripti, right? A few Hebrew texts read Lelohim. And then it says that there is one manuscript. This is in the singular manuscriptus. Also in the Septuagint, that is the G thing there. It says Lelohenu, specifically to our God. So let's read it as Lelohim or Lelohenu. Zamru Lelohim or Zamru Lelohenu, Zameru. Zamru Lemalkenu, Zameru. Zameru is the same as Zamru, it's just in pause. Zamru Lelohenu, sing to our God, sing. And then Zamru Lemalkenu, Zameru, sing to our King, sing. So these are the people who are making the noise as God is seen ascending. He's giving the command to sing, to shout, to make noise, and let your voice be heard as God ascends. Okay? And then we're back to, Jonathan, let's go back to the normal order for number 8.
All right. Ki melech kol haaretz Elohim zamru maskil. So, I guess you would supply the subject. He is king over all the land.
Well, what is Elohim?
Elohim
is not the subject?
is king of all the land. Yeah. The subject is at the end. Sing a song, some kind of a song. Music.
maskil.
Make-
Maskil
make-
is a type of song, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So just like mizmor is a kind of song, so maskil is a kind of song. And we are lost as to what that is because we are 2,500 years later. Mizmor, at the top of it, it says that Lamanatzel Livnei Korach Mizmor. Mizmor was a type of song, and we don't know what it sounded like or whatever. And so here we also have a maskil, which is used in the inscriptions of several of the Psalms. It is also a type of song. Ki melech kol haaretz Elohim. Let's be very precise. For God is king. What does it say? God is king. Ki melech kol haaretz Elohim. For God is king
of all the earth.
of all the earth. Great. What's it say in the apparatus? Multi manuscripti. What's that mean?
Multiple manuscripts in the Hebrew.
Yeah, many. Multi is many manuscripts. And then we've got adunt, al. Many manuscripts add the word al. Ki melech al kol haaretz Elohim. For God is king over all the earth. The king of all the earth, the king over all the earth. Kind of the same idea. But what we see is God ascending to the throne. Allah Elohim bitru'ah. God went up with great noise. Then it tells us who's making the noise in verse 7. And then verse 8 says that his throne is over all the earth. Not just a throne in Jerusalem, but a throne that is like God is king over all the earth, meaning that he ascended to the highest kingship. He was already king, but what we see is after he's defeated the enemies of Israel and placed them in the land, he ascended again to his throne. All right, so verse 9, Colton.
Malach Elohim al-Goyim. Elohim yeshav al kisei kadsho.
Kodsho.
I think before either one of you got to me, so hush.
We're attack dogs.
We are.
Malach Elohim al Goyim, Elohim yashav al kisei kodsho.
Yeah.
Because
God
it's from
reigned
Kodesh,
over-
right?
Yeah.
'Cause
God
it's from
reigned over
Kodesh.
all the nations. God set
Well,
upon.
so the Malach not only is reigned, but it could be his king. God is king.
Or
Okay,
rules
sure.
or something.
Yeah, God is king over all the nations. God, the whale sits over all the. God sits upon his holy seat, his holy throne.
Mm-hmm. Right. He sits on his holy throne, or the throne of his holiness. Good. So this is again continuing the visual of God having gone up or ascended to his throne after he subdued the nations under his people and gave them their inheritance. This kind of ties back to Joshua, really. That Joshua saw the conquest of the land. The people, we read Joshua, right, up to chapter 10, and it shows the people being subdued. And then the idea is that God subdued the peoples of Canaan to Israel and gave them their inheritance, allowed them to take over the promised land. And then we see God ascending after having done so. Malach Elohim al Goyim. Goyim would probably be the 7 Canaanite nations. Elohim yashav al kisei kodsho. Probably because God is given praise and elevation among the people of Israel. Kisei kodsho, his holy throne. Notice that today we use the word kisei to refer to any kind of seat, any kind of chair. And specifically the word for a throne is like a regal throne. The throne of a kingdom is not kisei in modern Hebrew, but kes. Kes, without the suffix. So it's kes malchut as the royal throne, the seat of the kingdom. Kes malchut. And I get number 10. Nidivei
This verse is a
amim.
freaking mess.
Nidivei amim ne'esafu. Am Elohei Avraham. That's messed up. כי לאלוהים מגיני ארץ מאוד נעלה. Okay, we have a lot of things in the apparatus, and this is a difficult verse. If we were to translate it exactly as it's written, it says, the princes of the peoples are gathered together, ne'esafu, the people of the God of Abraham. Okay, it's not really attached to anything, so we would have to take this as an apposition to say that the princes of the peoples are the same as the people of the God of Abraham. So in other words, the Israelites are gathered together because to God are the shields of the land, for God owns the shields of the land, I guess is how it would be read. And me'od na'ala, like he is very exalted.
You can also
the apparatus says,
and there's a translation that say the princes of the earth have, you take the nifal as reflexive as well, have assembled themselves, gathered themselves.
And that's fine. Like if you say the princes of the peoples have gathered together, literally it says have been collected, have been collected. Le'asef is from le'asof, asaf, to collect.
Yeah, take nifals
to gather together.
Well,
yeah. So I don't see a semantic difference between the leaders. The leaders were gathered, and the leaders gathered themselves. To me, that is exactly the same thing. Like those who say, well, you should include the word themselves. I don't know what the difference is. In my brain, they gathered themselves together, and they were gathered together. I see the same thing happening. What is the difference? I see people that are around and they coalesce together as a group. What's the difference?
Well, the difference is how they got there. Did they were they gathered by somebody, or did they assemble themselves?
Yeah, that's the difference. Is that in the 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗥, the person, in a reflexive, not just the 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘. Sorry, in a reflexive.
Well, with ne'esaf is like be collected, be gathered together. Ne'esaf. When it goes into the 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗥, at least in modern Hebrew, they switch out the aleph with vav, not the hitasef, but litvasef with a vav.
Interesting.
Litvasef. At least that's how we say it. I don't know if it's connected, but morphics.
The best way that I can think to describe it is like in the reflexive, the subject is both the patient and the agent. In the passive, there is no agent, only a patient. The subject is only a patient in that sense. I think in a lot of ways they are similar. That's why
my internet must be very slow.
It's like Colton has been spending a bunch of time with linguists.
To be added. If it was added.
Almost as if that I have been doing that. Right? Almost as if.
Almost. So I've been processing this incorrectly. This is from Losif.
Yeah.
Losif, Hosif, to add, Hosif. No, what is with my internet? Hosif, to add. Okay. Add or script button software.
Yeah, your internet is terrible. You're breaking up. No.
Yeah, it's from this website. This website is it's a mess. Do you see these advertisements?
Yes.
It's really a messy website. It's a good dictionary, but a messy website.
You can pay it to get rid of those ads.
Yeah. I don't want to. I don't want to pay for everything in the world that tries to make me pay. Anyway, so ne'esafu is obviously pause. The accent that's on there is the rebia. Ne'esafu, nidivei amim ne'esafu, pause. The word PRP, we would basically say probably, right? We would say probably. It should probably be read this way. Propositum, it is proposed. Propositum, proposed. Im ohole, Im Ohole. Instead of Am Elohei Avraham, they say we should probably read it as Nidivei Amim Ne'esafu Im Ohole Avraham. The princes of the peoples were gathered together with the tents of Abraham, with the Hebrews, with the tents of Abraham. Ki Elohim Magine Eretz. What did you want to say?
No, I see why they say that in the context of the rest of the psalm. God being God over all the nations, all the peoples. To gather the people in with the Israelites makes sense.
Yeah, indeed. The letter C says that in the Greek it says 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗦𝗘, which I guess just means with the powerful ones. And a bunch of stuff in Syriac. I wish that they would just write it in Syriac because I don't know what this 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗦𝗘. I don't know what that means. I have no idea. But it says that it probably is with a signe. That is the. We use this word sgan as an assistant, but I'm sure it didn't mean that in the Bible. Sgan. It means it has some position of power. Let's see what it is. Sgan.
Oh, okay.
Segen. Official. Principal. Okay. Principles of the Jewish community. All right. So officials. It's not a big.
I have to take that as a substantive adjective too, because it's based on.
So it would say the officials of the land belong to God, or the shields of the land, or those who defend the land belong to God. The shields of the earth belong to God. Something like that.
Yep. You can keep it the way it is.
Yeah. So we have finished reading the 10 verses. That's nice. I want to do a new thing that we haven't done before, and that is to give thanks specifically to our patrons on patreon.com/HebrewCafe. We love you guys so much. So we've got Oscar Glenn, Nate Weiss, I'm not sure. Muriel, of course, here every week with us. Ken Nyoff, Jonathan Santana, Colton, that's you.
It's me.
Adel jumps up with us on the wine green quite frequently. And brand new, we have Bryce Giesbrecht. It looks like that's a German name, but I assume it's Giesbrecht. And then we've got our super members, Jay Kirkpatrick and Galen, GWP. So we thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate your contributions and your help with getting this project off the ground. It means the world to me, really. You have no idea. So we are going to read through the chapter again, and hopefully if anybody has any questions over in the live comments, we would be glad to try to tackle them for you if it wasn't something that we covered already in our readings. So does anybody want to read? Just read straight through the chapter by yourself and just to make it flow? How do you feel? Or do you want me to read through it and then we can do it in turns? Because I think that we want to tackle the text. Tackle the text. When you read Hebrew, break it down and understand it as well as you can, and then go back and read it and feel it and make it alive. Because the text living is our whole point. Language is a living thing, even if you think Hebrew is a dead language, and it is not. All right, go ahead. What do you say?
All right. למנצח לבני קורח מזמור כל העמים דחו כף
Well, read that one again.
תקעו כף תקעו כף הריעו לאלוהים בכל רינה.
בכל
רינה. כי אדוני עליון נורא, מלך גדול על כל הארץ.
כל הארץ.
What did I say?
כל.
Oh, okay. על
כל הארץ.
ידבר עמים תחתנו ולאומים תחת רגלינו. יבחר לנו את נחלתנו, את גאון יעקב. אשר אהב סלע.
Jason is a stickler.
Well, it's the same mistake I make every time I run across one of them. one of the letters, so I understand. Allah Elohim betorah, Adonai b'kol shofar. Zamra Elohim zameru.
Let's say it correctly, not Elohim, but Le'Elohim. Let's correct the text because the text needs to be corrected here.
Okay. Zamru Le'Elohim zameru. Zamru Malkenu zameru.
We might even even the better correction. Zamru Le'Elohenu zameru. Zamru Le'Malkenu zameru. Okay. Le'Elohenu and Le'Malkenu seem to be in good parallel.
Yes,
and they should both be the same form, I think.
Yeah, that's why they do it. Yep, I think that's why they make the correction in the first place.
Well, it's based on other texts, it says.
Kimelech kol haaretz Elohim zamru maskil.
So Kimelech, we could correct that too. Kimelech al kol haaretz Elohim, which makes better sense. All right.
Malach Elohim al goyim, Elohim yeshav al kisei kodsho, nadivei amim ne'esafu. Elohei Avraham ki le'Elohim.
And what would be the corrections? Nidivei amim ne'esafu.
I don't know because you don't have the apparatus up anymore.
Im ohole Avraham.
And there's also a correction too. Perhaps im ohole instead of
That's what we said.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we said im ohole Avraham.
Ki le'Elohim. What's the word here? Signe
or magni.
Yeah. Signe eretz ma'od na'ala.
Yeah. So magine, the singular is magen. Magen. Right. I didn't comment on that before. But Magen Avraham is an expression, is a title given to God, the shield of Abraham. Magen Avraham. It's used in the Jewish prayer cycle in the Amidah, I believe. All right.
You mean the Lord's Prayer?
No.
Sorry, I was pulling a Becca on you.
Oh, I'm like, what? He called that the Lord's Prayer?
Yes, he did, the Amidah.
Really?
It set you off, I recall. You're like, no, this is not the Lord's Prayer. It's what we call prayers.
The Amidah is a name for the Shmonai Brachot, the 18 benedictions, which is also just called Tefillah, prayer. We would say normally that the Shema is the heart of Jewish prayer. That's the Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. And then the three paragraphs that accompany it, starting with the Vahavta. We would say that this is the heart of Jewish prayer, and it's kind of like the central faith statement of the Jewish people, I guess. Shema Yisrael.
I have heard it called the Jewish Creed before.
Sure, but Creed it couldn't really be because Creed is very, very short. Oh, my mommy! Sorry, I got to say hello because my mother sent a shalom.
So I don't know.
Hi, Mama.
Now we have the family of animals.
Fox and hare.
Sounds like a fairy tale, like an Aesop fable.
I'm glad she's here. I hope my dad is watching again tonight because he messaged me after last week and he popped up at the end. He was like, "Did I embarrass you? Did I say?" I was like, "No." I was like, "Jason's mom comes on all the time and says hi." He's like, "No, absolutely not." He's like, "We don't care."
We love our families.
Yeah,
indeed.
So I hope he's watching to see that your mom came in tonight and he feels better. You can
also just say that embarrassment is the norm in this room.
That's right. Yeah. Have you seen us?
We've just learned how to. Yeah. I mean, we're a sarcastic bunch.
So what were we saying? I don't even remember because I got distracted by my mom.
Well, she said, "Mommy."
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Jonathan, you want to read through the chapter?
I'll do the best I can with not having an apparatus in front of me. So, Lam Menatzeach Livnei Korach Mitzmor. Kol ha'amim tik'u chaf hari'u lelohim b'kol rina. Ki Adonai Elyon
Sorry.
Nora. And then there's a note, not important. Melech Gadol al kol haaretz. Yad ber amim tachtenu. Umim tachat ragleinu.
Yeah. So we didn't comment what is the singular of le'umim. Le'umim.
That's a good question. I don't know if it's ever used in the singular. Is it?
I don't know. But we say le'om.
Yeah.
Le'om, le'umim.
Yeah, that's what
so
it has. Yeah, le'om.
Yeah, if you have your 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗧, your Israeli ID card, it used to be this. I don't think I have my old one. I think I had to give it back when I got my new one. They used to have this like printed card that it was ugly. It was really ugly. Just like a printed card that was laminated. It had your picture on it, and it had your details. You know, your ID number and all of that stuff. But they switched it over to a biometric card that I don't know why they call it biometric, but it's got all kinds of stuff on it. I don't know. It looks like this. This is the 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗧𝗏. And they always had a section on there that said le'om, and it would. They don't have it on there now. It used to be that on the old 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗧𝗏 it had le'om, and then it would be it would say if you were like Christian or Jew or whatever, like what people you belong to, basically. And it doesn't have that anymore. But le'om is your nationality, how you are viewed as a grouping, as part of a people. Le'om, and then the adjective that comes off of it is le'umi. Like le'umim is the plural of le'om, le'umi. So we have bituach le'umi. Bituach le'umi is what we use as like our social security program, where when you work, you pay into bituach le'umi, and then when you retire, they give you money of the money that was saved up over the years. So that's le'umim. Amim are nations or peoples, and le'umim are also nations. Like these are in parallel to each other. Amim and le'umim. All right, sorry to interrupt, but we didn't mention that le'om is a noun and le'umim is a plural.
In fact, I think I always saw that as a lamed preposition on the front of it. So I like to learn.
It's not.
It comes from
le'om.
Yeah. Yes. So yivchar lanu et nachalatenu et gaon Yaakov asher ahev Selah. And then
okay, so we see with this Selah a natural break in the verse right now, where we're talking about God giving the inheritance to His people. Suddenly we see God ascending to His throne, and that's where all of the rest of the chapter hangs, and all the excitement that we gave to it earlier.
Allah Elohim bat ru'ah.
B.
Bit ru'ah. Adonai b'chol shofar.
I think I heard again b'chol.
B'chol shofar. Why did I start doing that all of a sudden? Colton's a bad influence. No, I'm just kidding.
Only when it comes to Hebrew.
Zamoru Elohim Zameru.
Okay, let's put the emendation there.
Oh,
Zamoru
right.
Le'Elohenu.
Zamru Lelohim Zameru, and Zamru Lemalkenu Zameru, but then it has another note. Oh, not important. What does it say? In about deleted in 2 manuscripts, and it's according to the Septuagint.
But can you imagine the unpointed Hebrew text? Like there's no nikud, and then you've got Zamru Elohim, Zamru Lemalkenu, Zamru. It's an odd text.
Yes.
So you can imagine them dropping that last one off and saying, "Look, enough."
Ki melech kol haaretz Elohim Zamru maskil, Malach Elohim kol goyim.
Malach Elohim al goyim or al kol goyim?
Al kol. Yeah, they add kol. Okay. Al kol goyim, Elohim yashav al kisei kodsho.
Let's look at this one as far as the phraseology is concerned. Phraseology.
Yeah, we need to hurry though. We got 5 minutes.
All right. Ki melech al kol haaretz Elohim. It has to be part of that phrase. It has to end that phrase. But the way you read it was Ki melech al kol haaretz Elohim zamru maskil.
Yeah, you're right.
Elohim can't belong to the second phrase. It
Revia.
has to belong to the first.
Olivia.
But it only makes sense because Elohim is the subject. Ki
Right.
melech al kol haaretz Elohim. Elohim is king over all the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to insert the word al because I think it's a good emendation. I think it's correct. Okay, number 10.
Okay, number 10.
Try to do it with the corrections to the text.
Okay. Nedivei amim na'asafu na'asafu im ohole im ohole. Does it do it twice?
They
It does do it
suggest that it was as im am ohole Abraham, with the people of the tents of Abraham, which would be the same, the Israelite people.
Yeah, im am for the seventh one. So im am Elohe Avraham. Ki
Ohole.
lelohim.
Ohole
Yeah,
Abraham.
ohole. Did I say ahale?
No, you said Elohe.
Oh. So lelohim signe eretz ma'od na'ala.
Me'od na'ala. Okay.
Ma'od na'ala.
We got 3 minutes, so let's read through it one more time and be done. Lam natzech livnei korach mizmor. Kol ha'amim tik'u chaf, hariu le'elohim b'kol rina. Ki Adonai elyon nora, melech gadol al kol haaretz. ידבר עמים תחתנו ולאומים תחת רגלינו, יבחר לנו את נחלתנו, את גאון יעקב אשר אהב. סלח. עלה אלוהים בתרועה.
No, keep going.
עלה אלוהים בתרועה, אדוני בקול שופר. זמרו לאלוהינו זמרו, זמרו למלכנו זמרו. כי מלך כל הארץ אלוהים, זמרו משכיל. Malach Elohim al kol goyim, add a little bit there, al goyim, Elohim yashav al kisei kodsho. Nidivei amim ne'esafu, im am oholei Avraham. I'm going to change that again. Im am oholei Avraham, ki le'elohim magine eretz, or signe eretz, me'od na'ala. Oh, na'ala. All right.
I guess your mom is on her phone because we got a hands yellow heart red. So she means to have the thanks emoji, the praying hands, and the red heart. And then we have a newcomer. Hello.
Shalom, Erev Tov.
Elif?
איך אני פספסתי את זה? Who is that? How do I not see that one? I don't see LF on my list of comments.
I definitely.
Oh, there it is, right there. Hello. Shalom LF. What is LF? LF.
Elif.
Or maybe it's elf. Like he's an elf. He likes Tolkien. Or she. They like Tolkien. And so maybe elf. Maybe. Brilliant. If anybody's interested, Tolkien right now, they've released the first 3 episodes of Rings of Power second season, so it's on Amazon Prime. If you want to check that out. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and again to our Patreon users, we love you very much.
Peace, folks.
We're going to go into Wine Green. For those who follow and don't participate, just go on to youtube.com/LibreCafe/streams to get to our live streams and open up the link there. It's also published on Facebook and on our Patreon site. Great. For those who are participating with us, the link's on Patreon, so join us for Wine Green in 2 minutes. We'll see you there.
Peace, everybody.
Shalom,